Hey everybody, it's Kyle coming to you from the basement. Oh boy, it's been quite a week since I talked to you last. All kinds of things going on. Lots of good stuff, you know. It's been my pleasure to watch the Dodgers pretty much lay waste to the Yankees. I know the Yankees came back and won one last night. I'm recording this very early on the day it'll drop. But I know the Yankees came back and won that one last night. I think they scored all their runs for the whole series in that game last night. But, you know, it's hard to beat a team 4 in a row. You know, anyone will tell you that. And even for the Dodgers, as deep as they are and all that, their pitching has some issues. That's why they were starting, and they kind of just went through their bullpen. They didn't really have a starter yesterday. But, that's just one of those things. They're dealing with what they have, and they're still a better team. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yankees are scary, and obviously they beat the Royals down pretty good. But Dodgers are a better team, so... Especially if Yankees fans are going to continue to interfere with the game like they did with Mookie Betts last night when he was trying to catch a ball in the outfield. It's pretty ridiculous. If you haven't seen that video, I'll see if I can put a link in the notes because it's bullshit, dude. That's the kind of shit that ruins it for all Yankees fans. I mean, I'm no Yankee fan, but I mean, it makes them all look bad, and that's bullshit. If I was the other Yankee fans, I'd be wanting to beat that guy's ass. So, anyway, that's been going on. It's been fun to watch. Been watching some different TV shows and movies and stuff. Kind of laying off the VHS movies for a little bit. I'll talk about that when I get to movies. But just kind of been hanging out, man, and just enjoying the hot tub, enjoying life. It does seem as though I've gotten bitten by a spider again. This is something that happens to me far too often. And it's interesting because, if in fact these are spiders biting me in this house, why are they only biting me? I mean, you got 3 other delicious meals walking around. I'm not wishing that my family would get bitten by a spider. I'm just kind of wondering, why is it that only I get bit by these spiders? I don't believe it's a brown recluse. I don't know. It's hard to say. Maybe I have a strong resolution against brown recluse spiders, but a couple times I've been bitten by these, it's gotten pretty funky looking, and this one is no exception. It looks like somebody hit me on the right outside of my leg, around shin level, with a bat. It's like a welt, and then there's a central spot where it looks like a spider bit me. So, I don't know. I'm trying to see how it's going. It does feel like some pressure under the skin and stuff, so I may have to go to the doctor and see what they can do. They'll probably just give me antibiotics. They usually don't want to mess with that shit. And I get it. I'm not dying from it, so, Yeah, but that's not a good thing that's going on in my life, but it is part of my life. But good things going on in my life. We had a great weekend last weekend. I went with my wife and a friend. We went to... dance club around here, and it was a Halloween thing. They got all dressed up. I did not. But I actually got a new Nosferatu t-shirt, and I wore that. To me, actually, it looks more like Barlow from the 1970s version of Salem's Lot, but same kind of creature regardless. But I just wore that, and I had some vampire fangs, glow-in-the-dark ones. But my wife and her friend dressed up, and we had a good time. We danced. It was a good time. It was fun. But yeah, that's about all I got to report on that end of things. Just enjoying life, man. Things seem to be going pretty well. I'm a little worried about the holidays coming up. It's going to be pretty weird this year. Mom was always here for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. She would come and stay a couple nights on each of those occasions. And so, obviously she's not going to be here. It's going to be a strange scenario. Um, I almost feel like I'll put on the worthless Detroit Lions football game in the background just so I can have that comfortable feeling that she's here, because she would watch all those games, man. I never could understand it. She just loved sports. That's all there was to it. So she is missed, and she will be extra missed, during the holidays, of course. Okay, let's move on past that. Let's get into what I am into right now. Music. Well, I did go score some music at Seventh Heaven, one of the last times I will ever be there, probably the last time I'll ever be there. The big thing I really wanted to get was, I really wanted to get a sweatshirt. They have these sweatshirts and t-shirts, this merch that says Seventh Heaven 1974 to 2024. So 50 years they were in business, which is awesome. But yeah, I really wanted to get that, but hey, it just didn't happen. So, but what I did get, just the same, is I did pick up a t-shirt of that, and then I did pick up 4 records. So used records were 70% off, and new records are 20% off. I mean, so that kind of tells you what they were marking them up, basically. They're just trying to break even on the new records. So what I scored was, I was looking around and I came across Talking Heads Naked, brand new. Now, that record, it's funny because I believe that's the last Talking Heads record where they're all together. The band's all together, like before David Byrne left. But I used to have this on cassette when I was younger, and I don't think I appreciated it enough. Listening to it again, I'm like, wow, man. I mean, this is pretty damn good stuff. Even my wife was kind of digging it. It's good stuff. So that's a good one. I did pick up also new, the newest album by X, the band X. It's called Smoke and Fiction. Yeah. I mean, I don't think they'd released an album for like 20 years or maybe more. I don't know. But I used to love X when I was, coming up. And, so it was I knew they had a new album coming out, and I didn't really try too hard to get it, because I'd listened to it and I thought it was okay, but it's good, man. I mean, I like it. I like it a lot. And then for used records, I came across a few. Bachman Turner Overdrive, Not Fragile is the name of the album. Now, the funny thing about that band is when I was a kid, I really loved Boston. And I remember my uncle, he's only like 10 years older than me. And I remember he kind of showed me the way with a lot of music. And I remember he's like, what do you like? And I go, I love Boston. And he's like, yeah. And like ELO. And I go, yeah. And he goes, oh man, you should listen to BTO. And I was like, okay, who's that? Bachman Turner Overdrive. So I got a cassette of their greatest hits and played it like all the time. And this album has a couple tracks that were obviously on that greatest hits. I know it's got You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. That was I think it was a radio hit of theirs. It was on their greatest hits anyway. And then I believe it has Roll On Down the Highway. Yeah. Roll on down the highway. Yeah, it's a good one. But yeah, that's kind of cool. I came across that one. Digging around a little more, I found a Hooters album, One Way Home. So I love the Hooters, man. They were kind of more around when I was graduating from high school and going into college. They were kind of a big band. But I had this on cassette as well, or maybe CD. I don't remember. But it's a good one. Satellite was the big song on it. Yeah, it's a good song. If you've never heard it, it's pretty good stuff. And then, last but not least, I picked up Mike Oldfield's Hergest Ridge, Hergest Ridge. Now, I love Mike Oldfield's Tubular Bells albums. My uncle turned me onto those when I was younger, actually, and my parents had them on vinyl, and I used to listen to them. But then when I was in college, he put out Tubular Bells 2, and I had it on CD, and I listened to it like all the time. It was great music to listen to when I was studying and stuff at college. And He's put out a 3 since then. He's put out a lot of stuff. But this is one of the albums he put out in the 70s and after Tubular Bells, I believe. Or it might be before. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's good. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to love it. I don't know. I don't know how good it is. We'll see. I also did pick up the new Pixies album because it was on sale on Amazon. It was like $20 or something. And I've listened to it once. It's a good record. It sounds more like Frank Black solo stuff, but the Pixies kind of does too. Or Frank Black solo stuff sounds like the Pixies. Probably more that way. But yeah, so those are the ones I picked up lately. I did get an email that Michael Kiwanuka, the new album, is going to be a little bit later. I think it's delayed by like a week or so before they start shipping those out. So, but yeah, I mean, that's about it for music that I'm listening to. I'm not listening to much else when it comes to music right now. Okay, and movies, TV, what am I watching? Well, we love the TV show High Potential, and I've told you guys about that. And we also started watching Matlock, the new version. Now, I remember when I was a kid, my mom watched Matlock like nonstop. I could hear that freaking that the theme song. Whenever I'd walk in the living room, she was watching that show. She loved it. But with Andy Griffith was the main star of it from the 80s. And I think it went into the 90s. But the new Matlock is a little different. It's still attorney and lawyer type stuff. But it's Kathy Bates. And there's more to it than meets the eye. You just have to watch that first episode, the pilot. It sets it up for everything that's going on. And things are not what they seem. And it's cool, man. I like the idea of it. And then we also watched the newest episode of Elsbeth. So season 2, episode 1, Subscription to Murder. It was awesome. Fantastic. I did also watch The Edge of Sleep, which is a short series on Amazon Prime. I think each episode is only like 20 minutes long, and it's 6 episodes long. But it's based on a podcast. But I can't remember the name of the guy who made it. It's Mark. Oh my God. I wish I could remember his name, man. He's a famous YouTuber. Okay. Mark Kiplier. Mark Kiplier. Yeah. He is a YouTuber and he is an actor too. He's been in other things, but this was a passion project of his, a big deal. And, yeah, so there's that. But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. If you've not seen it, it's a really interesting idea. I want more. After watching it, I want more. It kind of the way it ends, it's like, oh man. But it's still really good. I highly recommend it. If you haven't watched it, watch The Edge of Sleep. And I know he's got another thing coming out too called Iron Lung, or maybe he already did that. I don't remember, but that looks interesting as well. So, and then I mean, other than that, not much. I know that my son saw Smile 2 last night, and he is just convinced that I need to see it. He said it was definitely way different and more interesting than the first one, and is kind of deep in some respects, so I'll have to check that out. But yeah, I didn't even watch the first one. I know he did watch the first one. I know my daughter didn't care for the first one very much, but he said the second one is more of the same kind of, but it's got a really convoluted, interesting, deep story. And he even said something along the lines of the end of Smile 2 somehow ties into, or it's within the same universe as 28 Days Later, which is interesting because I think they've confirmed, or maybe they finished filming 28 years later, which, anyway, there's that. So, yeah, I'll watch them, you know. It seems like I have no time. So there. Let's see. What am I reading? Nothing really. Oh, so on the watching aspect, let's talk about this too. We have gotten some tickets to some upcoming shows. Actually, this morning I scored 2 tickets for my kids to go see Tyler, the Creator. And then before that, I had scored a couple tickets for my wife and I to see Seinfeld, Jerry Seinfeld live, and also with him is Jim Gaffigan. So they're both doing a huge live stand-up show, and it's in an arena, man. The seats I got are good, but it's like, it was expensive. But hey, you know, my wife and I talked about it, and we're like, look, we're never going to get to see these guys again. I guarantee it. Those two sets of tickets, the Seinfeld Gaffigan and then the Tyler, the Creator, I got something to say about this. So the way you do it is, you know, I bought the Seinfeld Gaffigan tickets from someone that had already purchased them through AXS. So it doesn't really apply there, but for the Tyler, the Creator tickets, so the tickets, they were already expensive. I mean, but the fees were insane. I mean, absolutely insane. I couldn't believe it, that this is what they're charging people for fees for show tickets nowadays. Just utterly ridiculous. I'm talking $110 basically in fees for them to get tickets to go to the show. That is fucking outrageous. Whatever happened to the whole Ticket Bastard thing with Pearl Jam? I mean, I know Pearl Jam said, "Nah, you're not selling our tickets anymore," and they only sell them now, and it's $10 each or something crazy like that. They swore that that's how they'll do it from now on. But how are these companies getting away with $110 in fees for 2 fucking tickets to a show? I just couldn't believe it, man. I was floored. I mean, you don't have a choice. You got to pay it, you know. I mean, I had to get in on an early pre-sale deal to get them those tickets. And it's like, you know, I had to wait in line. I had to sign up to buy them online a few days early. Then I had to wait in line when my time came up this morning to buy them. And then I had to get in there and pick a couple tickets, and I had a time limit on how fast I could, or how slow I could be buying them. I got them good tickets. There's 2 stages actually, and I got them some tickets somewhere towards the middle, so they'll be able to see both stages during the show. I didn't get them floor tickets because I think that floor seating thing, general admission, that's going to be shit. You know, I mean, my son's tall; he's like 6'3". He'd probably be okay, but my daughter, you know, she's not super tall. I just don't know. And plus, I don't know what people are going to be like on the floor there. You know, I mean, I want my kids to go have fun, but these are still my kids. I'm not going to let them go be in a situation where, you know, they're jockeying and fighting to be able to see, or whatever. Who knows what goes on the floor there? But you know, we did get them tickets, and they're going to have a blast. They're going together. Unfortunately, their friends really didn't get anything. They couldn't really find anything. I did hear that the tickets for the floor were a lot more than the tickets I got. So I actually got them 2 seats that are right on an aisle of a row. So that I told them that's great too, because you'd be able to leave and come back kind of at your own will, and you don't have to worry about, you know, getting in front of people and working your way in or out of the aisle or the row. So, yeah, there you go. I mean, it's just outrageous to me that they're charging people $110 in fees. For fucking what, dude? You don't even give me tickets anymore. You give me a digital thing that shows up in an app that I have to download that's your app. I mean, to me, tickets, that goes into the cost of overhead of doing business, man. It is not my responsibility to help you pay for your fucking website. You know? I shouldn't have to pay for you to run your ticket business. That's part of your job. I'm already paying that to a certain extent with some minor fees anyway. But these fees are just preposterous. But hey, again, no choice. You got to do what you got to do. So, and then I also did get tickets for my wife and I to go see Jeff Tate. He was the lead singer of Queensryche and one of the co-founders of Queensryche, the band Queensryche. But he is traveling. I think I told you guys this. He's doing Operation Mindcrime for the last time this tour. So we're going to go see him. And I mean, I can tell you that those tickets and it's not really an arena or theater or anything. It's kind of a higher end, bigger bar and grill that has pretty heavy duty shows there. I saw the Toadies there the year before, and they'll have some, they've got quite a few seats and quite a few attendees to their shows there. So yeah, it'll be cool. I'm toying with paying like an extra $100 for those because they were nothing really, and then I can at least go backstage and meet him and shake hands with him and tell him how much he influenced my life growing up and all that shit that he's probably heard a million times. Get a picture with him. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. It may or may not be worth that to me. I don't know. I love him. I think he's great. I love Queensryche when I was a kid. I still do now. So I probably will end up doing that. But I'm not 100% yet. So we'll see. But even if I did, paying for both of those tickets and the VIP backstage deal for him would cost less than one of the tickets for either one of these other shows that I'm telling you guys about. And I'm not including the fees. That's just how much it is. All right. So that's enough about shows and what I'm watching. What am I reading? I mean, nothing really. I've been reading through some of the newer Creepshow comics that I have, or some of the ones that are unread. They're on series 3 of those. So I've read through the first one of those. I got a second one to read. It's a great book, man. I mean, if you enjoy horror type comics, you're going to want to watch that one because it's pretty solid. And that's about it, man. Not much else as far as reading goes, which is sad. I haven't even finished the Mr. Ballin book that I purchased. So, and then a gaming, nothing. I haven't gamed at all. It's been kind of slow in that department too. So I need to sit down and play some No Man's Sky again. I need to play some more of the Spider-Man game because it's awesome, but I haven't. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. That's all I got, guys. I appreciate you guys listening. I have a new episode for you next week, and I'll try and remember to put these links in here for this stuff that I've been talking about, so you can check out some of these trailers and stuff for things I've been speaking on. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for listening. I'll catch you next week, and get off my lawn.